Well, welcome back, everyone. We have Lima Attorney Jerry Pitts in today to welcome Jerry.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
Good to be here.
What do you want to talk about today, Jerry?
Well, a question came up to me, and then someone said that, don't I have the right to say whatever I want to, the freedom of speech, the First Amendment? And I said, and they said, as it pertains to my employment, what if I'm in the private or public sector and I make a comment on Facebook at night that's not using my employer's equipment, and I make some statement, can they do some? Can my employer terminate?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And my response was yes, because anytime that you are working for someone, the image that you project, whether you're at work or not at work, has a lot of bearing on that employer's benefits and job. So yeah, they could terminate you for that, and a lot of people have been. Yeah. Because, for example, the group they call the Plainview Project, they decided for some reason to see which comments by policemen and how they did on Facebook. So they went and viewed about 3,000 across the country. And several of those employees, those policemen, ultimately were suspended and or terminated for comments that they made not while they was at work, not using any of the employer's equipment, but their own Facebook page, which ultimately led to them being suspended and or terminated by some personal comments, what they might have said about another person or something like that. You can still get terminated. For example, you know, I try to tell people this: if you work for Anheuser-Busch, who makes Budweiser and all that, and you go to a party and you're sitting there with a bunch of Heineken people and you're holding up this Heineken, now what in the world is your employer is going to say if he saw that on Facebook? And that's why I try to tell people a lot of your personal life, the things that you feel or make off-the-cuff comments, you should keep them to yourself. Yeah. Because once it's out there, it's out there. You cannot get it back. And ultimately, it can lead to your termination of your employment. Another good example is the guy who, Papa John. He was the CEO and virtually founder of Papa John. But he made two crazy comments publicly. He says Obama's health care was a sham. And he turned around and said something about the NFL, the way it is composed, that it's costing his money 14 cents a pizza. Ultimately, he got asked to leave his own company. Now, he still owns a small percentage of it, but he's not the spokesman out front for it anymore. Now, if that could happen to someone like him who's got millions of dollars, then ultimately what you think could happen to you working for a private, even a public employer, by comments you make publicly.
All of us little peons out there.
So it's the safest thing you can do is keep it to yourself. Yeah. And realize that Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff, it wasn't meant for the activities that it's getting. Yeah,
now there are privacy settings and whatnot. I think that on Facebook and Twitter and, you know, or X, now they call it X, and, you know, just so the normal public doesn't see your...
But if someone else sees, somebody's gonna see it, and if they reprint it using you, there you are again. Like I'm saying, you should not even try to trust this situation. Because in the old days, you might have got away with something privately. But it seems like everybody want to do their life publicly. And that is not the avenue to do it, especially if you're working for someone. But even if you're working for yourself, it could ultimately destroy your business.
Yeah, so Jerry, good advice. Keep it private, right?
Keep it to yourself.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for coming on today, Jerry.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, don't go away because medical news is up next.